Hey, good evening, folks, or perhaps good morning or afternoon, depending upon when you happen to be watching this video. I'm Marty, also known as Raging Owlbear on social media, and I usually talk about role-playing games or sometimes miniature games, but basically talk about tabletop topics in general. But I wanted to do this video just because this thing came across my Twitter feed the last few days, and I just had to talk about it. And it's not really tabletop related at all, unless depending upon the types of snacks you enjoy at your table, I guess it could be somewhat relevant. But to cut to the chase, when I'm recording this right now, it's early October. It's the first week of October, and of course, all the Halloween stuff is heading out in the stores. And you get the typical candies that come in this time of year. I mean, you have the sort of evergreen candies that you can find any time of year, but this time of year, there's always those Halloween sort of theme candies, and of course, you have the obviously very well known candy corns, and then the pumpkins, which are just candy corns in a different shape, basically. Yeah, I mean, I checked the ingredients between the two, and they're mostly the same. They're basically the same, except there's a slightly different order. But anyways, getting that, there was something that came across my Twitter feed, and I thought I just had to talk about it because it was just struck me as crazy. And you might, if you're of a certain age, you might remember in the early 70s, Gene Wilder made a fantastic film based on the Roald Dahl book called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And of course, Gene Wilder's performance, even though the movie is, especially the beginning of the movie is kind of as soon as they get into the factory, of course, Gene Wilder's performance carries the rest of that film. But be that as it may, there is one scene, and if I had a better editor, I would cut to it right now. But there's a scene where Gene Wilder holds up a gum and he says, "We've put a 3-course meal in this gum." And of course, Violet Beauregard grabs the gum from him, immediately starts eating it, tastes roast beef and potatoes, and then she gets to the blueberry pie, and of course, she blows up and turns into a great big blueberry. Well, apparently, the people at Brach's who make candy corns took this idea to heart, and they came out with this craziness. The Brach's turkey dinner and apple pie and coffee candy corn. So when I first saw this, I honestly thought it was, a parody. I really did think it was a total parody, and the Willy Wonka scene immediately came to mind. Well, as it turns out, this is an actual product. And just so you don't have to, I have gone out and purchased this actual product to see what kind of insanity we're talking about here. And now I am not a candy corn fan in particular. I mean, they're just these little waxy doodads that have a vaguely honey, vanilla, just a sweet, almost marshmallow like flavor. It's just sugar, and I read on the ingredients, there is a little bit of honey in there. And there's no actual vanilla extract, although there may be some sort of, maybe possibly an artificial flavor in there that sort of evokes that vanilla scent or something. There's something that makes it seem a little, taste and smell a bit of vanilla, even though there's no actual vanilla extract in the candy. I mean, I don't hate candy corns per se, but I don't seek them out. Candy corns are like those things and Brox is going to love me for this, I'm sure. But when all the other Halloween candy is out, you're like, well, I guess there's still the candy corns left. And, of course, you have the pumpkins. This one's a little bit of a mutant. But if you get a really nice one, it, looks like a whatever. But yeah, they're just these waxy candy chunks. Yeah, I don't actually like these very much. I mean, it's just sugar. So it's just, you put them in your mouth, there's a ton of sugar. But anyways, getting back to the reason I made this video. The turkey dinner, apple pie, and coffee candy corn, which, according to the packaging, has the following flavors: green beans, roasted turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing. Those are the 4 name flavors up here, but there's actually 5 colors, and I think the 5th flavor combination is actually this apple pie and coffee, like, combination flavor, because there is one of the candy corns has a vague coffee-like smell to it. I haven't tasted them yet, but I did pull some out of the bag because I wanted to, be ready for this video. But so here, so a couple of them are very obvious. The green, here's the green bean. It's just a green candy corn. And here's the cranberry sauce one, is a reddish pink. And then there's like 3 colors of brown. So there's like a really deep brown, there's like a middle yellowish brown, and then there's like a more of a light brown. And so I think that the deeper brown color, this is probably, I think, the gravy flavor, or I guess stuffing maybe. Is it there's not really gravy. I guess there's stuffing. So I'm assuming that's the stuffing flavor, although, it's hard to say. And I think this may be the turkey flavor, although, again, is the darker color for the skin of the turkey, which gets some more. But, I mean, I think this is... And I assumed at first the darker one was the coffee, except that this lightest color one, this very sort of cafe au lait colored candy corn. And let me put the 3 colors next to each other. You can see the color differences are somewhat subtle. But at first I assumed the darkest one was coffee. But I think this lighter, honestly, they all kind of smell the same to me. And I looked at the ingredients list, and they're not that different from standard candy corns in terms of the list of ingredients. I didn't see, it just has like, it'll say something about, artificial flavors, which could be anything. So, basically it's sugar and corn syrup, confectioner glaze, gelatin, honey. This has a honey too, of course. And then some other stuff, sesame seed oil. Okay, so this one says there are artificial flavors, caramel color, coffee. So there's coffee. They did put coffee in one of them. So apparently there's a tiny bit of coffee in the ingredient list. So because I'm the brave, bold soul who will do anything for a few silly views, I'm going to try these abominations. I'm going to start with the obvious ones first. And I've just got, water, distilled water as a palate cleanser, if you will. But I mean, they're candy corn, we've seen the candy corn, the regular candy corns, and then the sort of Indian corn, candy corn, where there's more dark, and they have caramel ones now too, which are definitely have more of a caramel flavor. Yeah, God, I can still, just that waxy aftertaste of the pumpkin is like still in my mouth. Maybe I might have needed some like saltines or something to really kind of cleanse it out. But let's go ahead and we're going to start with a green bean, because that one seems the weirdest. Well, frankly, not the weirdest, but it's green. It's a vegetable. It's candy corn. Let's see. So I don't know. It just kind of tastes like a candy corn. I mean, it's less. How I said the regular candy corns, the standard ones, have kind of that honey and vanilla flavor, and I think in the green ones, that flavor is stepped that really honey vanilla is, I think, pulled back because they don't want green beans. I mean, I can't even tell the difference in smelling like the regular versus the other one. So, yeah, I'm not. There is a little bit of a different flavor in there that honestly I can't quite put my finger on. But I don't know, green bean. Yeah, I don't know. It's green. It's green food coloring. All right, so that one was clearly there wasn't really any flavor differential. I'm not too surprised about that one, but I do want to see if there's something different with the cranberry ones I'm going to have. I'm actually going to eat 2 of these because I want to really see if I can really taste some sort of, again, it's hard to, I can't really smell the difference. Okay, there is something a little different. All right, so I'll give them the cranberry. The cranberry, and it's not even really that it tastes like cranberry, but there's some sort of fruit sort of feel. I mean, it's not quite. It actually almost tastes cotton candy like. Yeah, I'm gonna. Before I did this, I was trying to think of ways that I could describe flavors, because you always see people who are tasting stuff, especially weird foods. They try to. Yeah, that one. I honestly, I don't even know. I mean, it does. It has some sort of slightly berry, fruity context to the flavor, but if you were to blindfold me and say, what flavor is this? I don't think I'd come up with cranberry first. Like I said, it almost has almost like a cotton candy tone to it. And then, if you were to, a lot of times they flavor cotton candy with like some sort of colored sugar water. Something like a Kool-Aid mix or whatever to give it, this is like whatever. This is cherry cotton candy versus pink cotton candy. They mix some sort of, but yeah, I'm not really getting much off that. Like I said, that one does taste different. It does taste different, and it has a little bit of a fruit bouquet and something. But yeah, it's not that identifiable. It's kind of like how when you have a Starburst and somebody asks you to tell the difference between the dark red versus the light red, and there is a difference. But like when you're chewing them and you're like, they're just both kind of berry-ish. One's supposed to be cherry and one's supposed to be strawberry, but they're both kind of, it's kind of like that. It's hard to distinguish that fruit flavor out of many. All right, so now we're going to go. All right, so yeah, green bean, green bean is just a much subtler flavor. They just kind of made it not as in your face. I guess because they thought, it's a vegetable, let's just not make it taste too sweet. So it feels a little sugar. The cranberry one has a little bit of a berry flavor, but honestly. All right, so we're going with the deep brown. This is the one I'm assuming. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, I'm not sure what the difference between the light brown and the darker browns are. We're going to start with the darker brown. I don't think this is the coffee one. I think it's so hard to tell. It's so hard to tell. All right. Okay, so that dark brown one actually had, maybe that is the coffee, I'm not sure, but it had a more caramel. It definitely had a caramel note to it. And again, caramel isn't on the ingredients, although really caramel is just burnt, caramelized sugar. Yeah. That might have been the coffee one. It's hard to say for sure. I'm already running out of water. Okay, so we'll try the lighter one, which I thought might have been sort of the cafe au lait style, because the scent, this one actually has a little bit more of that coffee scent on it, although, again, they're all mixed in the bag, so they all kind of smell like each other. Okay, that one. Yeah, the lightest color one definitely is trying to be the apple pie one. It definitely has, like, apple pie has that the crust has that slightly cinnamon, but a little bit of a, I don't want to say burnt, but that crisped flavor of the crust, and I think that one was the apple pie / coffee one, which means that other one must have been, I don't know, the stuffing or perhaps the turkey. Yeah, so the apple one, I could taste it, but it's, yeah, it's such, it's super artificial. I'm not going to get a Brach sponsorship out of this video, that's for sure. But yeah, it has a very artificial apple crust. It's light cinnamon, I could definitely taste the lighter color. I want to just double check it one more time. Yeah. So they're definitely trying to go for that cooked apple flavor in that one, but yeah, all of them have that just weird aftertaste that candy corns have. You're sort of assaulted by the sugar up front, and then the whatever aftertaste that is settles in, and yeah, like at first you're like, oh, this does kind of taste like apple pie, and then you're like, all right, so now we're okay. So we've gone through all the browns except for the medium brown. I'm assuming this is, like, again, I think the dark brown was supposed to be the. No, I don't know. I don't know now, because there's not really gravy. It says stuffing. It doesn't say gravy. So maybe, but yeah, I think the lighter brown is supposed to be the turkey part. So I think the stuffing part was the darker one. But anyways, let's try the medium, that sort of medium color. Oh. 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 Okay. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay, so Brach's. Brach's had to have watched Willy Wonka and was like, hold my beer. I can't explain That was definitely the turkey flavor. Oh my god. My taste buds couldn't even believe it at first. No, it's not good. It's not good. But in the interest of science, I have to see. I have to experience that again. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, don't do this. Do not buy this. Okay, Brox, I gotta hand it to you. There is a kind of turkey flavor in there. I don't know. The stuffing one, no, that tasted just. Oh, oh man, I need more water. Oh, I should have had the whole. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My hat is off. My hat is off to you, Brox. You somehow made a candy that tastes a bit like turkey and not in a good way. Oh my god. Yeah. It was so surprising. No, I'm sorry. I gotta get a hold of myself. Wow. Okay. Okay. So getting back to the flavor combinations, the green bean was definitely the sort of the mildest. I mean, for a candy corn, I think I almost like this because it doesn't have an overpowerfully, doesn't have that same sugary, just punch you in the face flavor. But because I think they just tried to dial it back, they're like, we can't get a green bean. I mean, how would you even, yeah, how would you even create a green bean flavor? Well, they did it with the turkey, so wow. Okay, so the green bean is subtle. The gravy, the stuffing one, which I'm assuming is the darker brown, it's pretty subtle. The apple pie coffee one, it definitely has, okay, yep, they got some apple pie in there, and again, but yeah, that turkey one, that is okay. You got me. There is a fake taste of turkey in the candy, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this bag because I don't want to necessarily experience that again. But I think I'm going to give it to my D&D group so they can try it for themselves. I mean, it's not like it made me want to vomit, but it was still yeah. So there you have it. I don't think there's anything else to say. There's the Brock's turkey dinner. I guess it's available at Walgreens and not necessarily. It's not everywhere. It's in select places, but it's one of the Walgreens things. Congratulations, Brock's. You suckered me out of my $3 for that bag because I had to know. Well, and then bought a couple bucks of these too. So yeah, you got $5 of my money just so I could do this video. Now, granted, my kids do like the regular candy corns. I don't think I'd be surprised if they liked anything other than the green bean flavor one, which doesn't really have a green bean flavor. Yeah, I absolutely need to get more water because the whole inside of my mouth is just coated with that waxy candy corn feel, and that turkey just various aftertastes kind of just clinging to the back of my taste buds. So, this was fun in a way. No, it did. It really did give me a laugh. So, for what it's worth, Brock's, thanks, I guess. I'm Marty, also known as Raging Owlbear on social media. Like I said, I talk about tabletop role-playing games. I do some Twitch streaming from time to time. Yeah, that was something. So, thanks for watching. Have a good night.